I'll tell you the secret. What's the secret? You know, a lot of people come to me, they're like, Vic, we're doing e-commerce, right? There's e-commerce. E-commerce is a huge industry, booming industry, right? Billions and billions and billions of dollars, in sales, in volume, in activities going on there, right? E-commerce has surpassed, like, Cyber Monday, I think it was a couple years ago, for the first time ever. Cyber Monday sales have surpassed Black Friday sales, which has never ever happened in the history of the world. Okay, we've got companies like Amazon right now, and a lot of people are in e-commerce doing e-commerce, right? A lot of these folks having their own Shopify store or their online store, building their brand, or local mom and pop shop owners and whatnot, right? These guys are like, dude, how do we compete with the Goliath, which is the big A, right? How do we compete with the big Amazon? Okay, that's a good question for you. How do you compete with Amazon, right? So if I have an e-commerce store, okay, if I have an e-commerce, if this is my site over here, okay, and this is Amazon over here, $1 trillion company, man, okay, a big T. I'm not $1 trillion company yet, you know what I mean? You might be just a startup. You might be somebody working from your basement in your home or from your kitchen table. How do you compete with this guy right here, or with this, with the big gorilla out there, $1 trillion company? How do you do that? Good question, right? We're going to talk about this. What's your number one secret? And I'll tell you, there is a way to compete with Amazon, right? Most people, they don't understand this concept, and they're like, they don't stand a chance, right? If you are in, if you're a real estate agent, okay, and you are a part of a whatever agency or company that you're in, how do you compete with all these other guys in a real estate industry? Okay, how do you stand out? If you are in a particular information marketing company, if you're a network marketing company, right? If you're a network marketer, a lot of people watching this show, they're network marketers. If you're in a I know there's a company called, I'm not gonna drop any names, doesn't matter, but travel company, trillion, I think travel is like what is that, $6 or $8 trillion a year industry, travel as a general, right? So the opportunities are absolutely tremendous, right? So we need to understand key levers. Small hinges open huge doors, right? Huge doors. So if you can figure out that small hinge, right, and if you can focus on that, it's the whole concept of that 496, right? The 96% of people are doing, are doing things that are just, making them go in circles and circles. So we got to figure out what are those four handful of activities that if we focus on and crafting, we can go and we can compete with all these, right? And you know what that is? Okay, anybody know? If you guys are watching this, let me know in the comments. I'll be checking the comments a little bit later on. I don't have my computer here with me right now. Okay, but please let me know. Okay, how do you compete with Amazon? Okay, you know what the factor is? Okay, is going to be your edge. Okay, this is your big secret. Okay, let me explain to you what I mean by that. Very, very simply. So I can have, right, I can have my little Shopify store over here, okay, and this is Amazon, okay, and this is me, okay. So if a consumer is looking, okay, if I'm looking for something, okay, if I'm looking for a particular product, okay, naturally, people are being conditioned because these guys are everywhere, right? Everybody knows Amazon, for example. And again, you can apply this to any industry, any niche. We'll just keep it super simple here right now, okay? But once you understand this concept and you understand what I'm trying to, to portray to you here, you'll be able to dominate. So you gotta understand. You really gotta get very clear on this, okay? It's your edge. Really, what we're talking about is there's three components, okay? If I want to go and I want to compete with Amazon in e-commerce space. In every transaction, there is three things. Okay, number one, you got the product. Okay, there's three components. to transaction. You got the product, okay? Number two, you've got the consumer, right? Somebody who's going to buy the product. Number three is you've got a person who is going to connect the product to consumer, okay? Which is a seller, okay? So, or a distributor, okay? I guess I could probably, switch these around here. You've got the product, you've got the distributor in the center, and you've got the consumer, okay? So this is a distributor, okay? This is the product here, okay? Whatever that product might be that I'm selling for money, okay? And then we've got the consumer. I'll put it simply here for you, okay? And then we've got the consumer. Okay, so this is our target market here, okay? What I need to understand, very, very basic thing, what I need to do is I've got to understand there's something happening between the consumer and the product, okay? So if I go to, if I have a website, okay, and I can put myself here, okay, my business is going to be a direct reflection. I always talk about this. My business, I don't have a business. It's one of the key rules of being a 4% marketer, right? Being that top, top of the top, cream of the crop as far as marketing goes, right? You got to understand some basic rules, some key fundamental rules. And one of those rules is this: I don't have a business, I am a business, right? So I am a business. So this product that I am offering, okay, it basically, it's part of what I do. It's an extension of what my business is. Okay? It's an extension of my world, okay? This is not my business, but it's an extension of my business. It's like one of those things that I do, okay? So my consumer, I got to understand. So if you're thinking about this, if you're thinking about how do I get my consumer to buy the product, okay, then you're dealing on a very, very shallow, you're swimming in a very shallow waters. And you don't stand a chance, because consumers can go out there, they can go to Amazon, they can just buy a product from anybody if they just really wanted to buy a product, right? But what I need to understand is when it comes to me being a distributor and us being marketers, number one secret to success in marketing is creating your conversion machine, okay? You're creating your conversion machine. Your conversion machine will be your edge. To the degree, okay, that and how good your conversion machine is, will you be successful? Okay, now this is not what most people want to hear when they're starting out, because they're like, well, dude, I just, I thought this marketing stuff is easy, and I think, just to walk in the park and do nothing and make millions. And sometimes, very, very rarely, that might be the case for a very short period of time, right? But most of the time, or in most cases, almost 100% of the time, right? Or only 100% of the time, what happens here is those people find out the hard way that that short time frame that they might have their flash in the pan type success, it passes, and then they're back to square one. So us marketers right now, you guys, especially in this day and age where you have companies like Amazon, right, trying to sell products, and they're selling products, and $1 trillion company, okay? You've got another $1 trillion company, which is Apple right now. And there's going to be more and more and more companies that will be popping out. How do we compete? You compete by having an edge in your marketing machine. Now, what am I talking about when I say an edge? Okay, so there is a when you're talking about marketing machine, you got to understand this. Okay, so there is a market over here. Let's have this market. Okay, so this cloud represents a market here, and so what we do, okay, is we need to generate interest. Okay, how do we generate interest in the market? We get attention. Number one is to get attention. So I don't even have to think about competition. Okay, so if you have an e-commerce store, if you have your own online business or internet business, or you're selling insurance, you're selling real estate, doesn't matter what it is. You gotta create attention. So how do you create attention here? Okay, you create attention. You grab attention through your advertisements and through the ads that you put out there. Very, very simply, okay? You can create attention through the value, through the content that you put out there. You create attention. So basically, there's two kinds of attention. There is an attention of like, okay, whoever can scream the loudest, okay, whoever can put out more ads and pay more money for the ads, that's okay. You know, that's one kind of attention. You can probably do that too. Another kind of attention is how do you communicate to your potential customer over here, okay? How do you communicate to your potential customer based on what they're looking for, which is the result, okay? And then try to talk to them about those results over here in your ads, okay? Whereas every ad that you put out there, write this down. If you can do this, it will change your game. Every piece of advertisement that you put out there, okay? If you can engineer that ad to be a value-driven ad, okay? Value-driven ad. It's very, very easy to compete in that department because almost nobody's doing that. Very, very few people are doing that kind of stuff, right? So most people put out an ad that talks about the product, okay? That talks about just like generic stuff, what everybody else in their market is doing, right? And so if you're competing in a huge, big market, it's kind of difficult, okay? Very few marketers right now anyways, it's going to get, you know, this is probably going to change, you know, the way I see it, it's probably going to change and the landscaping is going to change over the next, you know, maybe a year or two, right? However, right now, I can go and I can put up an ad. Now, when it comes to creating an attention, right now it's easier than ever before to go out there and get attention. A lot of people naturally will be thinking like, well, where do I advertise? How do I advertise? And so naturally, a lot of people, because of what's going on in the market right now and what everybody's teaching out there, you know, almost everybody seems to be teaching like Facebook advertisement, right? Go to Facebook ads. And so you got to understand what happens there. And I'm not, you know, dissing Facebook or anything like that. It's a great medium of, you know, that we can harness the power of that social media to advertise, to get in front of people, super targeting abilities, right? I mean, just insane stuff that we can do on Facebook there. And so I'm not discounting that. So we can use that, but still apply. There are a lot easier ways to advertise, right? So such as, for example, influencer marketing. Right now, I'm telling you guys, influencer marketing is insanely underpriced. Okay, so I can go, whereas, you know, Facebook is changing their algorithms almost on a daily basis, right? So advertising, you know, guidelines are being changed, pricing models are being changed, you know, advertising algorithms are being changed and all that stuff. And so a lot of people are just kind of trying to catch up with the wave, right? I'm telling you, smart marketers right now, what we need to do is we need to understand where, see, if everybody's going to the left, you got to go to the right. Right? So if you follow the masses, and when you look at what the masses are doing right now, the masses currently are going towards Facebook. Why? Because every single guru and their dog are preaching Facebook advertisement. You know what I mean? Now, you can do that, and in doing so, you have to be really extra creative nowadays. Like a year ago, it was easier. 2 years ago, even easier, right? To advertise on Facebook, get attention on Facebook, super easy. When Facebook Lives came out, dude, you could do a Facebook Live, you can sell anything, doesn't matter. Right now, not so much, right? So they limit your reach, you have to pay money, and you know, you have to pay a lot of money to do that, you know, to be able to reach your people that follow you. And again, you can still do this, but this is what the big masses are doing, okay? So what I can do now is I can go to people that have big influencers. We're talking, if you guys are not utilizing YouTube influencers, it's crazy. See, you can sponsor a video. I teach all of this stuff, you know, in Internet Traffic Mastery. If you guys have it, obviously, check out the masterclass that I'm doing. But I'm giving you, I want you to start thinking a little bit differently about, you know, how do you get attention right now? Okay, because that's step number one, is you understanding how to get attention. If you can successfully get attention, and I don't have to like rack my brains and try to, you know, figure out, okay, where do I go? Look, the easiest thing for me to do now, like today, how would I go about advertising today? Currently, you've got a product, whatever you're promoting, the product produces a particular result, okay? So what you need to do is you need to create an ad, okay? You need to identify your market. So message to market match, right? I think we talked about it, you know, on the last episode of the 4% Entrepreneur Show. So my message, which is my ad, okay, message to market match, and my message is connected to my result that my market wants. Okay, so if I have that, and I simply go to like an influencer, YouTube influencers right now are very, very underpriced, super underpriced. Social media influencers, right? Super underpriced. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leverage somebody else's brand. I'm gonna leverage somebody else's pool of people, pool of audience. I can just tap into them, right? And by being smart, talking about your product doesn't matter, because 1,000 people might be promoting your product, okay? So what I need to do is the stuff that I've been talking about over and over and over again, okay, is you need to have your own door, okay, which is your landing page where people can opt in. Okay? And so this page should be generic, should not be product-centric. I see so many people out there promoting, advertising their landing pages, but they're talking about their product on the landing page. Okay? So, for example, if you are in a competitive company, if you are in a network marketing company, for example, right? Say a lot of people contact me, they're like, Vic, I'm promoting this company. How do I stand out? How do I do that? First and foremost, if you're promoting something that's very, very competitive, that other people in your space are promoting, utilizing the same, similar strategies as you are, such as Facebook or whatever else that you're doing, including influencer marketing, if your people, very, very few people doing influencer marketing right now, but if they do that, right? So what I need to do is I need to understand how do I approach this whole thing by being smarter, right? How can you outsmart and outcool your competition? And step number one in that, it will be this. Your landing page should be generic. It should not be company-centric. Okay, so if you're promoting a network marketing company or direct sales company or insurance, it doesn't matter, right? Unless the company absolutely requires you to, I would keep this page, this landing page, generic, meaning no logos, right? You don't want to really, because if your potential customer or your potential prospect already saw that a landing page with a company's logo previously by somebody else and they had a less than awesome experience, okay, they will associate that less than awesome experience with their, with that landing page that they, could have seen before, or the logo or something like that, right? And so that could be, that could repel them. Okay, so I want to eliminate points of resistance. Write this down. Take a look at your funnel. Take a look at your process. Right, everything has a process. We're talking about that on this show and also in 4% and all that stuff. So every single thing has a process. You got to lay out your process. Very few people do this, okay? If you lay out your process, okay, you say, point number one, somebody clicks on my ad. Before even that, what my ad looks like, okay? So ad can be generic, okay? Ad should have no logos, no brand for the company if it's a competitive company, right? Because I want to gain an advantage. I want to take them into my world, because what's going to happen is I'm going to take them into my machine over here, okay? Once they come into my world, this landing page talks about the result. And that's why you got to know your market. You got to know what you're talking about, okay, or the people that you're talking about. But then I'm gonna drop them in here, and this right here is going to be my machine. It's going to be my conversion machine, okay. So every single lead that comes here, I don't expect them to buy right away. This is the world we live in right now, my friends, okay. Don't expect for every single person on your list who opts in to automatically be excited to buy your product. People don't do that. Okay, same thing same thing with like e-commerce or other industries, real estate or painters, roofers, anything like that. Like on a first contact, right? Because people have options now. There is a lot of noise going on. So what I need to do is I need to figure out and I need to engineer specific flow. So I don't have it here, but you guys know, the blueprint. I have it in my other office. The blueprint we talked about, right? That is your secret key, okay? So you take them into your machine over here, which is your conversion mechanism, okay? It will consist of, so when they opt in here, two things happen, right? They go to my list, and then they go to retargeting, okay? And then, and then they go through some sort of a funnel, okay? Then they go to my hub, okay? Then that funnel goes to the product I'm selling, okay? And then my hub redirects them over here. But then again, what I want to do is I want to open up channels and doors for me to promote other things that I might gain competitive advantage. And at the same time, okay, this positions me and this gives me tremendous edge, okay? Tremendous edge over anybody else that I'm competing with. Okay, so this way, the only way that I can win competing with Amazon is through personal interaction. Okay, like this, personal interaction. See what I'm saying? So if I can, if you're having an e-commerce store, okay, when somebody comes into your store, you got to figure out, and this is a conversation, we're going to have like a master class on this one alone, okay? But I'm telling you, eliminate points of resistance, right? And then get closer to your potential customer, not by being somebody who, pretends to be, somebody that you're not really, but you can literally be working from your kitchen table, but the process that you put out, right? The process that you create and engineer, it can make you look like a billion-dollar company. You know what I mean? And so the easiest way is through personal interaction. So for example, one of the things that I see that's some of the things that we're also, working on implementing some of our funnels right now, and if you haven't seen it, you will see that a lot, right? Is, do like, ask people questions. So when they get on your site, ask them a question about, what it is that they're looking for. Maybe give them one of the things that we're really going to do is like a little mini walkthrough process, finding out exactly what they're looking for. So in 4%, right? Somebody comes into the 4%, and you guys will see this being implemented, because we have a lot of people coming in from different directions and with different desired outcomes and whatnot, right? So I want to know, because everybody's going to be different. If somebody's coming in here looking to learn copywriting, right? If somebody is coming in here looking for traffic generation, if somebody's coming in here looking for marketing ideas or funnel building or anything like that, and as we grow, one of the things that we're doing in 4% that you guys will see, okay? And again, I'm telling you what we're doing. This is not me teaching you theory. We're actually talking. I'm telling you what exactly what's happening in our business. Is we are going to have a little pop quiz or a little survey or a little assessment, right? Or a guide that's automated, right? It will basically say, hey, please select what you're looking for, and we'll give them a list, right? So they select what they're looking for, and then it'll take them to the next step. I'll talk to you more about this maybe in another segment, okay? But that will basically allow you to step closer with your prospect. And then what you do, okay, is you have these people on your list, okay? So I can send them emails. Email segmentation is huge, okay? So if I don't segment my emails, if I don't know, okay, that person who comes in here, especially if you're selling multiple products, or if you're just selling one product, okay, and you don't know exactly what this person is looking for, like if they did not tell you exactly what they're looking for, it will be very difficult for you to talk to them specifically based on the result that they're looking for, right? Because you will you'll just send out your messages being kind of blanketed out across the audience, and it's not really going to make you stand out that much. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to be very precise, and that can be engineered. So surveying your people is really important. Segmenting your people is really important. If somebody says, you know what, I'm looking for copywriting, I want to become a better copywriter. So then I know that this person, okay, I'm going to put him in a bucket over here, a little sub list. Okay, list A. Okay, and a lot of autoresponders, they can tag nowadays. Yeah, I think most major autoresponders, they can allow you to tag people, right, based on what they're looking for. So I'm going to put him in. I'm going to put this guy in this list A over here, and this might be all about copywriting. Okay, if somebody is looking for, traffic, I'm going to put him in the list B, and that might be traffic, right? So then what happens here is every single tag or every single list has its own set of autoresponder emails, okay, that might be going out to that person, talking to them specifically about what it is that they're looking for. Does that make sense? Okay, same thing. So basically I'm segmenting. So this is one way of getting closer and creating your edge, because if I'm coming in to something, right, and again, you guys, aesthetics and all that stuff, again, remember, you're not, if you're going to compete with the big giants out there in your industry, you've got to understand that everything matters, okay? People right now that say that, well, aesthetics don't matter and the uglier the site, the better. It's not always the case, okay? I'm going to argue with that, because you don't win by being sloppy, right? You don't win by being just slapping something together and your formatting is all off and your your website looks, ugly and whatnot, right? Right now, everything matters. Aesthetics to how things look on mobile, devices. That's why it's really important for you to, if you're creating pages. Hang on one sec here. If you're creating, websites or funnels or whatnot, yourself, you want to make sure that everything is mobile responsive. Most of your consumers right now will be on mobile, okay? Apps, we're going to be, a lot of what's happening now will be moving to apps. And so engaging people, maybe I want to give them an app. Maybe when they come into my world here, I want to take them to an app, which is one of the things that we're going to be doing with 4% as well. So I want to remove them from this noisy market over here, and I want to put them into my world, which is my machine over here, okay? And that will include all these things that I'm talking about. And this is just a few of many, many, many things that we can do. So how can you remove points of resistance, number one, okay? Have that message to market match, point number two. Point number three, segment and get closer to your prospect based on their core desire. There's a surface desire, right? I want to have a marker. But my core desire, really, why do I want to have this marker? Is because I just want to be able to write. So if I'm selling markers, right, I don't want to be married to this marker, quote unquote married, right? I don't want to be dependent on this marker for my existence in a financial space, right? I don't want to, like, my business to depend on just one marker, but I want to be the person who can sell the, marker A, marker B, marker C, different brands, right? And maybe you can become that somebody who will educate your consumer through your machine over here on the best markers for what they need. So what are you looking for? Are you looking to write on paper? Are you looking to write on whiteboard? Are you looking to write on a wall, on a car? What are you looking for to use that marker on? You see what I'm saying? And so that will allow your consumer to bond with you, okay? And so the cooler the experience over here, and if you guys are in 4%, just kind of really pay close attention to what you will see coming out, what we're doing here. And then see if you can model that. A lot of you guys have eStage. We have eStage product, right? And it's called your hub. And as you're developing that, we have specifically created that product, eStage, to allow you to have a home on the internet so that you can have this going on in your business, whatever industry, whatever market you're in. Even if you're a beginner, okay, you can leverage. Okay, so if you don't have products that you have created or whatever, if you're an affiliate marketer, you can still create this situation here, okay, that allows you to have your edge in whatever it is you do. You can do this with e-commerce, digital marketing, online businesses, network marketing, anything like that, right? Does that make sense, everybody? Yes? Make sure that, hang on one sec. Okay. Now, what's the next thing? Okay, so the next thing is this, is you got to understand that there is a gestation period to everything, okay? If I plant a seed in the ground, it takes a certain amount of time for that seed to grow, okay? And so what I see a lot of people are getting impatient with is that, if I spend $1 over here, and if I don't make $2 in 2 minutes over here, then, oh my goodness, this business doesn't work, okay? So what happens is you've got to understand that right now, it might not be as easy for you to break even like it was before, let's say 3 years ago or 5 years ago, okay? So like 5 years ago, I could literally run an ad on Facebook or Google. I can run a Google AdWords campaign, and I can be selling a product. I did not even have to have this right here. This was not even needed, like 8 years ago, okay? I could go directly from the ad to the product, and my conversions might be 5, 6, 7, 8, 10%, okay? So I would be profitable just like that. It was like printing money, man. Right now, things changed, okay? Right now, competition got bigger. Right now, we've got all these technologies that are working, and so right now, the market got a lot noisier, okay? There is a lot more noise in the market. There's a lot more movement. There's a lot more moving parts. So what I need to do now is I got to be smart. I got to understand that my competition, if I'm going to run an ad, okay, and I don't, and I don't turn profit immediately on that one single product sale right away in like, first, day or two or a week, you got to have a back end, okay? That's why I'm a huge proponent, okay? Why am I keep talking about this thing called multiple streams of income, right? If you want to sustain your business, if you want to, if you want to create an edge, you want to make sure that you have enough financial stability, right, that allows you to strategically outmarket your competition, okay? Somebody says, I think Dan Kennedy said this. He said, if you can spend more money to acquire a customer, you can win. Okay, I think it was Dan Kennedy. If not, we'll just give him a credit anyway. He's a smart dude. I learned a lot from him, in direct sales world. So how do I spend more money here? Is I can have multiple streams of income. These can be, symbiotic products. These can be tools and picks and shovels based on what I'm looking for and what I'm doing. And again, if you guys watched, the previous episode we had, we talked a little bit about that. But look, think about your situation, what it is that you're doing, and your number one secret to your success is going to be your edge. Your edge, what that means is how you create your marketing machine over here, okay? And how do you stack in the marketing world so that it allows you to go out there and get the attention, have multiple streams of or have multiple channels of revenue coming in, so that you can afford to pay more money, okay, to acquire a customer. But then understand that there's a gestation period. So your customers coming into your world here, your job right now what we're doing, you guys, this is a place where people get indoctrinated into your way of just who you are, okay? Again, you don't have a business, okay? I don't have a business, I am a business. This is a reflection of me, okay? It's your thinking, it's your behavior, it's how you act, it's how you communicate. So that's why everything matters right now, okay?